on my YouTube feed. It's
Yeah,
like,
man, it's pretty cool. I don't know if you guys know Brent. Ken, do you know Brent?
I don't know him, but I know who he is.
Yeah,
TTP.
super cool
Yeah.
guy. So I met him like 2 weeks ago, and I was just like, Brent, because I went on his podcast, and I was like, Brent, how can I provide value to you? That's basically what I said. Like, hey, how can I help? And we just from there, I just was able to figure out. We were able to figure out a way where I can help out his community, and that's just kind of like how life is. You just want to see how you can serve others, right? You want to see how you can help other people grow, because that's the more you give, the more you get. And if you guys learn that there's not like a what's the word? There's not a scarcity, but there's an abundance of success you can have. There's abundance of deals you can have. If you have that mindset, you'll make more money and you'll be more successful than if you're like, man, I can't work with him because he might steal that deal from me, right? So once my mindset switched on like looking at life as an abundance mentality instead of scarcity, everything changed for me. And that's when I started putting out more content, doing more JV deals. I mean, I've done over like $500,000 in JV deals with like little to no spend, right? Which is awesome because, and that's been all from just collaborating and working with people. So I kind of want to show you guys, help people, right? Like if you so what market are you in, Luis?
I'm in the Central Florida market, but I'm going to shift into Lakeland, like you said. And I'm already talking to a bunch of buyers. I have like 4 or 5 in Lakeland right now.
Love it. So that's exactly what I'm talking about. So you become tight with those buyers. And then when you meet other wholesalers, other people in Lakeland, you can just be like, hey man, you need help moving your deal? I got some really good relationships with buyers. And
exactly.
I actually did that, guys, with, so I reach out to other wholesalers, to their dispo managers, and I say, hey, look, are there any deals you're having trouble selling? And then they say, maybe this one or maybe that one. And actually, I'll show you guys what I'm talking about once we get into a little later part of the call. But let me go right into something about mindset. All right.
Okay.
All right. So let me ask both of you guys, how many of you have a routine that you follow every day when you wake up and just start taking action? Do you guys have a routine?
I wish.
Well, tell me, Cam, what's going on? Like, is it just hard to wake up and do something, the same thing every day because of family or,
family, I got little kids, but I'm, man, where I live, so I live in Montrose and my job's an hour and a half away. So I wake up, get ready for work, drive up to Telluride, work, and then turn around and come home. So, I mean, I got 3-hour commute time every day just in the car.
Dang.
So I need a little direction on getting my mindset, I would say.
So how long is that car ride?
Oh, it's an hour and a half there, hour and a half back. I listen to podcasts the whole way. I listen to Jeff's podcast the whole way. That's
okay. So what kind? And that's probably where you got a hold of Rappaport, right?
Well, I was already listening to all kinds of audiobooks. Rich Dad Poor Dad, Grant Cardone, and stuff like that. And then I found Jeff's podcast. And I've listened to it several times. So
and that's really money too. Can you guys still hear me? Yeah. So that's really money that you're able to, listen to podcasts and instead of just zone out to music. I mean, and I'm sure like sometimes you take a break, but that's good. I mean, I think that's awesome that you're listening to good stuff. So I understand that you got that long drive. How about you, Luis? Do you have a routine that you do in the morning when you wake up?
Not recently. But I'm gonna get back into that. Like I used to have like just a typical wake up, go to gym, come back, then get my day ready, and then go to work, and then come back, do whatever I have to do, like business wise, and then yeah. But I don't have too much of a long routine, but
okay,
it's more of like straight to the point, get to business.
Yeah, and I like that too. So I just kind of want to show you guys. So I feel like the first thing in order to see success in wholesaling is mindset. Because it's a lot of action taking, right? It's like a lot of massive action. So if you don't have that right mind mentality to hit the phones, to take that action, it's, if you don't have that right mindset, it's kind of hard to take those actions. I mean, it's even hard for me. Sometimes I don't want to make calls, right? And I'm assuming you guys face the same thing.
Yeah.
Okay. So what kind of helps me is to have a routine. So you guys have all got access to the Painless Wholesaling Mind Map, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I have it open right now. Like,
Cool.
it's one of my tabs.
Good. So this thing, any question that you have is going to be answered in here. If you ask me some, I'll point to it or I'll put the information here. This thing is going to be the ultimate guide to getting, the structure, the systems, the processes for whatever you want to do in wholesaling. But the first step is mindset. So every Tuesday, we're just going to talk about one specific thing, because you can't master, like, obviously you can't be like, okay, tomorrow I'm going to wake up at 4:30. I'm going to meditate. I'm going to hit the gym. I'm going to, repeat affirmations and do all this. Like, you got to pick one thing at a time and get good at it. And then, it's a habit at that point. Right.
Mhm.
So if we go down here, if you guys can see my screen, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So if you go to here to daily routine, this is an example of my daily routine. This is what I do every day. And it's taken years to get to a point where it's like, it's a habit. So I get up early, I wake up early, and hey, obviously not all of us can afford kind of like we were saying, like where we can just set aside like an hour in the morning. But if as this takes off and you can be a real estate investor, Ken, you are going to have your mornings available. You're going to have more freedom and I'm assuming that's why you want to get into real estate, right? You want to like free up some time.
Yeah, I don't want to be an employee, man. That's my main goal.
Well, let's get you there. And this is going to get you there. But so I wake up every morning. I try to wake up naturally. If you go to bed on time, you get in a rhythm where your body wakes itself up. I'm sure you guys have felt that too, where sometimes you wake up before the alarm clock because you're being consistent. So I wake up. I'm a religious person. So I pray, get on my knees and I pray and I read my scriptures and I go to work. I work out. I do jujitsu. I don't know if you guys are any of you guys into MMA, like mixed martial arts.
Just watch.
I dabble into it, but not like actually like do it. I just like watch, like you said.
Yeah. So I just watched it before, but recently I was like, dude, I'm gonna go to the jiu-jitsu gym and get my butt kicked. So I started like 6 months ago, and I wrestled in high school, but eventually. I was pretty good in high school, but I wanted to kind of grapple, roll around, wrestle, get a good workout. So I just went in randomly and I've been learning it. That's where I got this little cut. Looks like a teardrop, but yeah, so I work out and I struggle with meditation. It's really hard for me to sit down, but meditating, taking a cold shower, that's the goal. I have some affirmations that I repeat. I write down what I'm grateful, like successes I've had. I have a journal that I keep that I write down what I'm grateful for. My morning routine takes like an hour outside of working out. I plan my day. So if you guys can see my like not my screen, but if you look at my camera, so I actually print out what I'm going to do in the day and I write it down and I have like, pages and pages of this because I want to be prepared, right? Like know exactly what I'm trying to accomplish. So I do that. And then my friend just got this intentional journal, which this thing's sick because it helps you time block your day, like what you're doing every 30 minutes. It helps you pick your top 3 priorities and goals that you're trying to accomplish and how to accomplish them. And your top right here, it says your number 1 thing you're trying to achieve that day. Okay. So I've been doing this every day and like I'm getting close to hitting my goal because it's in front of me every day. So that's like the routine. And again, guys, you don't have to master everything, but I would, if you guys haven't, I'd go here to the daily, to the mindset part of the painless wholesaling mind map. And I'd pick one thing you want to get good at. And, it can be anything. It can be creating a life plan. Like what do you want for your life? Setting 90-day goals. You can go, if you wanted to start planning out your days, you can go here. And right here, I give you access to my exact planner that you guys can go print off and start writing down, what you want. So that's kind of what I wanted to recommend for you guys is just give you a brief overview of what the mindset portion of the mind map is. We'll talk about it every week, but just go through here and pick one. And maybe next week we can talk about which one you've decided to pick to implement in your routines. And I know any of this stuff will help you because I've dissected this all from self-help books, multimillionaires, like routines. And I've also heard like, there's tons of people like forget a routine, just go to work. There's different thoughts on what you should do. Like Alex Hermosi, he's like, oh yeah, forget that. You don't need a routine. Which, if you don't need one, that's cool. But for me, I like to be prepared. You know, I like to plan out my days. So
Mhm.
do you guys have any questions on this section or anything I can, you know, specifically you have questions about mindset or what you feel like you might need help with to do that?
Yeah, not right now. But I really like the why, find your why, like the 7 levels activity. Really like that.
Yeah, that's really cool because, you know, so with this job, with real estate, you can work your butt off. You can work with a seller, everything going, you know, decent. All of a sudden, something can happen. Something can happen with title. They can ghost you. The seller can die.
Mm-hmm.
Anything can happen. So if you don't have that why that's going to push you, like for example, Ken, it might be your family. Luis, I'm not sure what your why is. Do you have your why, Luis?
Yeah.
What is it?
I had one in the top, but okay, it's to be with people I love the most and cherish them completely anytime I get to.
Whew, I love it, bro. So you feel like pursuing real estate is going to help you accomplish that why?
Financially, obviously that's going to be like the big factor, and then obviously I can automate real estate and like other businesses, and I can spend time with my family more than just like working a job and then coming home like really late at night and not having that quality time with my family.
Yeah.
Because I never had like a father figure to like actually like be there with me. So this was my mom working, and I don't have like the best relationship with my mom, even though we're still close.
Right.
But like I want to be there for my kids. So that's like the main
That's dope.
priority.
That's dope that you know that's what you want, and you're going to create the lifestyle that's going to allow you to do that. I can already tell, you know, you're already taking the steps. So that's cool. Okay. Ken, do you have anything you want me to review or go over on mindset or, you know, any questions?
No, you know, Nathan, my mindset's there, you know, like I know where I need to go. It's just that direction, you know. I feel kind of the analysis paralysis, you know, that I've just taken in so much info from all these other different sources, you know. I just need to get it implemented in my mind.
Yeah, I love it. You know, and I think that's good. You know, you got the mindset, you're just ready to take action. But the problem right now you're having is the right action, right? You only have so much time in a day. And especially with your job, you only have a certain amount of hours to work, right?
Yeah, you know, and I keep telling myself, you know, well, I could do this while I'm at work, but, you know, I don't know if this is an excuse or not. But I mean, I always find myself off, you know, where I have no cell service, you know, because up in Telluride, you know, you're in the mountains, you know. Sometimes, you know, I'm in a house with no cell service. I can't just make calls and stuff like that. So I don't know, just some stupid roadblocks, you know.
Yeah, I mean, we all face that. You know, we're where we know what we need to do, but there's all, you know, it's hard to get it done because it requires action. So let's kind of talk about where to start. So we already talked about, you know, mindset, you know, and we're going to talk about it every week just for a little bit. Let's talk about the first step you need to do in order to, you know, get rolling, and that's picking your market. So have you guys already picked your markets on I know, Luis, we talked about you got is it Clearwater? Is that it? Lakeland. Okay. And then how about you, Ken?
Yeah, I got 5 that I've, you know, got some properties in that, you know, I can't say that I've been calling, but I have 5 that, you know, Tennessee, I like Texas, here in Colorado, and North Carolina. Another one I like.
So where did you did Rappaport, did someone tell you to pick multiple markets, or what made you choose 5?
He said you should pick 5 markets, you know, because Jeff has us calling for sale by owners off of Zillow, you know, just to get experience calling people.
And how's that been so far?
That's probably one of my hindrances, you know, like just making the calls, you know, like I know I don't make enough.
How many would you say you make a day?
Oh, some days I don't make any, unfortunately, because like I said, you know, I might find myself overwhelmed with my job personally.
Right.
So I don't make the calls, and then I kind of end up kicking myself like, man, I should have found the time to make 10 calls, you know. But
Yeah. So do you feel like what's keeping you from making calls is it's just tough to pick up that phone? Do you feel like you don't really know what to say? What do you think's
I'd say that's probably part of it too. You know, like
not
I
sure?
know one of the last calls I was on, I got cussed out by like it was another investor. You know,
Right.
and he was pissed off because he was getting so many wholesale cars. You know, he just cussed me out pretty good.
And he knew he assumed or knew you were a wholesaler. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, because the way I started talking to him, you know, he was like, "Oh, fuck this," you know, like all you wholesalers, you know, I fucking had enough of you. There must have been a convention somewhere because you're like the 50th person that's called me, you know. I'm
Yeah.
not knocking down the price anymore, you know. I think it's good enough. Yeah, and that one kind of kicked. I would say that kind of kicked me off my bike.
Yeah, man, you got rocked, huh?
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm gonna tell you a different strategy than Rappaport's telling you, and
Okay.
you can pick whatever you want. I mean, but I would tell you to do what I do.
Okay.
So Rappaport is telling you to go to 5 different areas where you are calling for sale by owners and you don't really know what to offer. You don't really know the area, and it's kind of confusing, right? You're not very confident. Would you say you're not confident?
Yeah, I'd say that it's kind of like just call and see what you get. You know,
Yeah, and I don't think that's the right strategy, because confidence is probably one of the most important things you need when you're talking to a seller, because they can feel, they can smell that blood, right? They can smell that fear. And if you don't come with it, like, hey, I'm an investor, I want to buy your house, but you got it too high or whatever, they're gonna eat you alive. Most people. So what I tell people is pick one market. Okay. And the reason why you got to pick one market is because just like Rappaport is, you told me he's like a master at mastering deals, like structuring deals. Rappaport also probably like started in one area and he mastered that market. And by mastering that one place and knowing what a deal was, what he could buy a deal for, what other investors would buy for he learned that skill set of structuring. But I mean, if you just go all over the place in 5 areas, you're talking about Denver, Texas, Tennessee, Atlanta, wherever you're at. Those are all different areas. Like those have different demographics, different price ranges. It's going to be hard for you as a new person to just master all that at once. I know, because I did nationwide and it's really hard,
Yeah.
So you pick one area, right? And that can be your most of the time I recommend you pick the area where you're closest to, just so you can go meet with sellers, shake their hand, get good at meeting people in person. I do most of my deals in my own market, but I do it over the phone because I don't need to go see them. I'd say I'm that good where I just don't need to go, meet them. But in the beginning, meeting them is very important, right? It helps you establish rapport. So if I were you, I would scale back to one area, and it would be your backyard. So where do you live?
Montrose, Colorado. It's not very big, 14,000 population.
What's the closest metro to that area?
Probably Grand Junction. I wouldn't say it's much bigger, but
let me take a look at this.
Denver's 3 hours away. That's the big city right there.
Colorado. I'm looking at Grand Junction.
Yep.
Okay. So yeah, that's not very big either, is it? Okay, so this is what we can do right now. We're going to take a look at this. Okay, so let's go through the step-by-step process just to make sure I'm doing it right. Okay, so master one market, work your backyard if you can. Only do this if your backyard is over 10,000, population greater 10,000, and your market can be more than 90 miles. Your market can't be more than 90 miles away from a major metro. I'm looking at this. It seems decent, but we're going to verify with batch leads. Do either of you guys have batch leads?
Yeah, I got batch.
Okay.
Yeah.
You both do? Okay, good. All right. So did you get it recently or have you had it a while?
I've had it for a while.
Okay, got it. So we're going to verify with batch leads. I'm going to show you if you can find out if this is a good area where investors are buying in. Privy is another one. You guys don't need to get Privy, but if you do, here's the link. You can get it. It also tells you if investors are buying, and it's a good tool if you get a lot of MLS deals. But let's check out batch leads really quick. So I'm going to tell you right now, if that area is worth it in Grand Junction. Okay.
Yep.
Do you know how to check that?
I'd like you to show me better.
Yeah, I can show you. I just didn't know if you've already done it. I didn't want to waste your time.
I use batch leads. You know, I haven't really gotten into pulling the list because I don't want to waste my money on pulling lists. You know, if it's not going to be worth it for me.
Yeah, I don't want you to waste your money either. That's why you're in this club with me, because I'm going to show you how to get deals for free. All right.
Yeah.
Okay, Grand Junction, Colorado. Okay, let's take a look at it. Okay, so what we can do with Grand Junction right here is you can do a boundary around it.
Uh-huh.
And let's go here. And we're going to see how much action is going on here with cash buyers. So you go to quick filter. So it says 13,865 cash buyers here, but then you got to go to filter. We got to see how many cash sales have happened from cash buyers in the last year. So cash purchase only. We want it to be within the last 12 months. So what this is saying is who bought a house in the last 12 months. Okay. Exclude properties where the mailing address and property address are the same. So we're excluding that because, you know, grandma might have bought a house and had for cash and lives in the same place. So the next place you go to is MLS, because you want to know, okay, who bought it for cash and who sold it on the MLS with the agent? That's usually what flippers do, is they buy it for cash, sell with an agent. So how many properties out of these got listed within the last 12 months? You guys follow me?
Yep.
Okay, so
Yes,
let's see what we got. 214. Okay, so 214. So there's some action going on here, right?
Uh-huh.
According to this. And let's look at these. Okay, that looks like it got flipped. Well, it's probably flipped enough for Grand Junction.
Yeah, it's Junction. That's just a big city for us.
Yeah. And so you can go through here and you can find out who these guys were, and you can skip trace them, call them, or you can call the agent that represented them in the transaction and say, hey, you know, hey, Tina, my name is Ken. You know, I'm starting to buy properties, but I also find a lot of distressed ones. Do you work with investors that maybe I could kick you something? We can work on a wholesale deal together. Just be upfront. If she's like, no, forget you, then, you know, on to the next one. Right. But it looks like she represents this guy who owns, it looks like he owns one other property. No, I guess this looks like the property he owns, but maybe he's a flipper. You'd have to check.
Yeah.
But that's how you would do it. And the same thing for Clear. So if we go to Clearwater, I'm sorry, is it not Clearwater? What is it again?
Lakeland.
I keep on calling it Clearwater. Lakeland.
Have you been to Clearwater?
You know what, man? I haven't. I think I've done a couple. Done a couple deals there, so that's why I keep on saying it.
Oh yeah. That's like the major beach in Central Florida people go to.
There you go. All right, so same thing. We go here. It's already filtered. So I mean, there's a lot of action going on in Lakeland, right? So some good stuff. So you won't have a problem finding some cash buyers here.
Yeah, I already skip traced like multiple, and then some of them I actually I asked a question on the Discord, and I multiple of them I couldn't actually skip trace them and then find their number.
Okay.
So I went to the agent side. I know what to say, but I don't know how to close it. What do I actually what's the whole purpose for me calling the agent? To work with them?
To work with them.
Okay.
Yeah, because what's going on is you can wholesale a lot of deals through real estate agents. So what you're essentially doing is just saying, hey, look, you know, I have a property, I was going to flip it, but right now I don't have the funds. I see you represent cash buyers. I was wondering if you could, you know, connect me to your cash buyer. Obviously, I can pay you a commission. And they're like, heck yeah, I'll bring this to my cash buyer. And then they make a cut.
Okay, just making sure, because
for sure
I didn't want to call them and just keep on saying the same thing.
You're just calling them to say, hey, look, I flip, but right now I'm sitting on the sidelines because of the market shift. I have a couple opportunities that, you know, I don't want to let go. Do you have any buyers that I could assign my contract to that would be interested in some flips in the area? Simple.
Okay, yeah, that's exactly what I said. Yeah. Instead, I use what you said before. I'm a flipper, and I maybe sometimes I have too many properties that I like to take care of, manage, and then I usually like dish them out to like other investors. Exactly what. Okay, that's exactly okay. Thank
Exactly.
you for the clarity.
Yeah,
Thank
yeah,
you for the
of
clarity.
course. That's what I'm here for. So Ken, let's talk about your situation going on right here. So I looked at Grand Junction. It looks like, according to Batch, you could there's some activity going on. How do you feel? Just, this is my opinion. How do you feel about just going to one area versus 5 and just trying to shotgun approach this?
Yeah, no, it's way better. Precision.
Yeah, that's you're a sniper, bro. That's what you are. You're not. Shotgun approach is going to be. It's going to take you longer to figure this out, in my opinion, and to get a deal. So you already kind of have an idea that Grand Junction has got some stuff. So that's your market right there. And you just network with people where you live. There might be some that comes across the table there, but you don't have to market there. So that's step 2. The next thing is finding a market, and both you guys have one. So great. And if you guys have questions further on this, then obviously you can we can go back to this. You can go back to this section. All right. So this is my strategy. Ken and Luis, I think you already know, or you might already know, Ken, but I find my buyers before I start marketing, because the way that the market is right now, if you guys just go start spending money, start cold calling, and you start locking up people under contract, that process could take you anywhere from like a week to 2 months, right? So let's say you finally find someone, you get under contract, but you don't have a buyer, you might lock it up at the wrong price. You might not be in an area where buyers even like, because it might be like the wrong side of town, but you don't know any of that if you're just going to randomly call places, right?
Yeah.
So what I do, and what I tell you guys to do, is go find 10. Step 3 is go find 10 cash buyers that you can get super tight with. So that'd be 10 for you in Grand Junction, Ken, and that'd be 10 for you, Luis, in your area, Lakeland. And you're going to get tight with them. You're going to take them out. And these are the best ways to get tight with them. You're going to take them out to lunch. You're going to call them. You're going to, just pick their brain, maybe get on a Zoom call, kind of like how we're right now. And you're just going to ask them what their criteria is. Now, step 4 is finding out what their criteria is. And that's, like I told you, call them. You can do Zoom call, and then, take them out to Eats the Best. But here's some videos that I have of me actually talking to my buyers and asking them for criteria. And here's a video of how you guys can make a Google form to send to your buyers so they can fill out what they want from you. So you can start marketing. Then you know where to go, know what to find them. So that's kind of the strategy, Ken. It's reverse engineering the process. So you're not just trying to get, and the reason why a lot of people don't teach this is because in the last 2 years, you could just find anything and sell it. But that's not the way it is right now. You got to be strategic. You got to find specific, and this takes less money and less effort. So that's why I like it too, because you're more targeted, right? So let's go. So when it comes to finding buyers, I kind of showed you right there, Ken, and Luis, like what you could do with Batch. But flippers are usually the people you're going to want to sell your deals to. So if you go to this section on flippers, there's every single strategy that I know of how to find buyers. And all you got to do is pick one and go for it. You can use batch leads like I just showed you. You can ask private money lenders on this list. If they have any buyers, you can call investor friendly title companies. For example, Ken, this is what you could do. So Grand Junction, Colorado, title, investor friendly. If this comes up, title company. 41 investor friendly Colorado, investor friendly title companies. Let's see, investor friendly title companies. So we might just have to go to just title companies in general in Grand Junction, not because in Utah, like Salt Lake, you could type in investor friendly and they usually pop up with like the best ones, title companies. Okay, so you got Fidelity, National, Heritage, Land Title. So what you can do is you can call these title companies and say, hey, look, I'm a flipper. I come across a lot of properties, but right now I'm sitting sidelines, and I was wondering if you have any buyers that close here, cash buyers that I can connect with, so I can, network with them. And I did a call just like I just told you guys, so you can watch it on how to do it. And I got one of the title companies I called. I got one of their top buyers, and he invited me to go out to lunch with him tomorrow. Thursday. So it works. Right? Because the title company wants business and the cash buyer wants to do deals, right?
Mm-hmm.
So Ken, why do you think I would reach out to a title company to find a legit cash buyer?
Well, for one, they know cash buyers. I mean, they do all the closings, so it's a good source right there.
Right, and they're legit too, right?
Yeah.
They're not going to know who this guy is unless he's actively investing. So
Yeah,
that's
they're not going to give you somebody that doesn't have money and doesn't close. They're gonna be, oh, so and so. If they don't give them business.
100%, 100%. So, you know, I don't want to overwhelm you guys with the steps you need to take. I mean, it's just little baby steps. We already talked about the mindset. Pick one thing. Number 2, we already kind of went over the markets. That one's an easy step. Number 3 is you guys got to find 10 solid cash buyers that you can get cool with and just be like, look, you can be honest. You be like, I'm brand new, but I got nothing but time and energy to find you a deal because this is what I want to do and I need your help. I'm going to be as transparent as possible and, you know, go. That's it. So do you guys think by the time we talk next next Tuesday, you guys can find 10 cash buyers by going through these steps that I've laid out here?
Definitely.
Cool.
Yeah.
Okay. And now, then once you have them and you have them on the phone, step 4 shows you how to get their buy box criteria. And here's a script I have for you guys on what to ask them. So, you know, so you create that form, send it to them, but you have this, so you kind of know what to ask to talk to them about. Okay. So that's kind of the homework or assignment, just that's going to get you to the next point. Cause once you know what they want, then it's marketing time. And it's either, okay, do I want to start paying for marketing or do I want to do it for free? And that's kind of what I do. I tell you, I show you all the paid marketing channels and I show you all the free marketing ones. Right. So let's see. Looks like someone named Nathan Payne just signed in here. Interesting.
And we got double now.
Yeah, that's weird. That's not, that ain't me. Maybe it's one of my VAs or something. Okay. Okay. Any questions so far, guys? I know I've been kind of rocking through this thing pretty quick, but you know, it seems like you guys are pretty advanced. You know a lot.
Would you pull a list off of batch leads for Grand Junction when it comes time to call in, or would you? Because on Zillow, there's not too many properties. You know, like Grand Junction and Montrose, like properties fly, man. They get sold pretty quick. It's not a lot.
Yeah. So I'd recommend going to this part of the mind map, and I'd call a title company. I'd find out what private money lenders are in the area. Those are both free activities, and maybe do the batch like third. I wouldn't do it like up front, like, because you know, I don't want you to spend money if you don't have to, right?
Yep.
So here is one of the so I go through these, and most of these are free. I mean, call the top agents in the area that represent flippers. So you could go to realtor.com and you could just type, let's see, I think there might be find realtor. Let's see. And then you can go, what's the zip code of Grand Junction? Do you know?
Oh, 814. Oh, shit. 814.
Is it Montrose?
Yeah, Montrose is 81401.
Okay, we'll just go with that. Let's see the top agent in Montrose. Okay, so Michelle Clibbert. You don't think she knows some investors, bro?
Yeah, you know, I actually just found a RIA, you know, a local RIA. They meet up in Delta, the next town over, and in Junction. You know, and the guy that puts it together is one of the top realtors in Junction.
There you go. That's it.
Yeah.
That's money. You want me to call her and ask her if she knows any investors?
Yeah, go for it.
All right, let's see. I'm gonna put my money where my mouth is. Where my money where my mouth is. Let's see if my girl Michelle knows. I'm gonna have that same conversation. That same conversation I told you guys, and let's see how it goes. All right.
Let's do it.
All right. Let's see. Let's get it, Michelle. I ain't afraid of you, Michelle. Okay, let's go.
Hello, you've reached Michelle Clippert. Also,
shit, dang. Sometimes I call twice just because they don't answer a no number. My
Yeah.
area code's a 404. So usually call twice or 3 times if you want to get froggy. It usually works.
Hello, you've reached Michelle
Oof.
Clifford.
She ain't trying to work today, boys.
Not in Montrose.
She ain't trying to work. She's what is it? It's 4:47. She clocked out at 1.
Yeah,
she's
she's at the country club.
She at the country club. She's already worked long enough. All right, Michelle, I'm gonna let you off the hook on this one. So anyway, I was basically just gonna call and have a conversation, but that's kind of what these calls are gonna look like every week. Is like, what are you facing? What do you need help with? Let's go through the map. Let's make sure you're taking the right actions, and let's implement. Let's practice some of the stuff I'm telling you. Let's see if it works. So, guys, let's kind of talk about where you're at. Are you guys looking at any deals right now? Are you like anything you need help with? Like, I'm gonna open it up to now it's kind of Q&A.
Do you want to go first, Ken, or do you want me to go?
I don't have any deals. Nathan's
Yeah.
been on point for me so far tonight.
Okay.
Appreciate it.
For sure.
Yeah, I don't have any deals at the moment, but something that like I'm gonna have like trouble. I wouldn't say trouble. I just want to know the next step, even though it's the mind map's literally in front of me.
Mhm.
So the reason why I didn't like.
You still there, bro? I think you got muted for some reason.
Oh, I don't even know what happened.
Yeah, no, it's all good. For some reason it got muted. Go start over again.
I basically got like a bunch of cash buyers from Orlando at the moment.
Okay.
But then when you mentioned Lakeland, I actually like looked at the numbers and I saw like there was a lot of like actively properties that were being flipped. So I went to that market on Batch Leads. I called a whole bunch of cash buyers. Most of them didn't answer, but 4 did. So I just want to know what would be the next step. I mean, obviously it's right here. After I get the 10 cash buyers, what would be something that you suggest after getting those?
Do you you got to get their criteria, right? You got to
Yeah. I got the criteria on the call, and then some of them that were busy, I sent them my form over email or text.
Yeah. And the key is to get on the phone with them. Like, cause they might, like if they submit it, if someone submits it and I haven't talked to them, I'm going to call them. Cause you got to establish that relationship, that rapport.
Oh, okay.
So,
okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Cause anyone can get a bunch of submissions, but that doesn't mean they're going to be tight. You got to get tight. Getting tight is the key. So after you get tight with them and really, get to know them, find out what they want. If someone's going to be rude to you and, not give you the time of day, the chance of them buying a deal from you is slim, right? Because they might not give you the time of day when you have something.
Mm-hmm.
So get tight with them. And then once you know their criteria, that's when you start the marketing phase. That's when you pull a list and you cold call it in the specific area they want, or you text it, or you run ads, or you get VAs, or you drive for dollars in that area. It all depends on your marketing channel, but it all has to go first. You have to establish where you're getting deals. That's why the Rappaport nationwide 5 markets is extremely difficult to target and market to, because it's like, well, shoot, what am I going to spend, $1K in Atlanta and $1K here? And like, it's just really hard to, build that out in the beginning. Right.
Definitely.
Okay. So did that answer your question?
Yeah. And what are some like ways to like actually build that rapport? Like I really like had some really good conversations with like some cash buyers who were like giving me advice, and I just kind of fed onto that, and I told them, like you said, I'm hungry. I'm new. I'm completely new, but if you like are willing to work with me, I'm gonna give you a good deal. Unlike these other wholesalers who are obviously gonna give you the deals that don't work, because that's always their like rebuttal to whenever I mention I'm a wholesaler. They're like, usually when wholesalers give me deals, the numbers don't make sense. And then I tell them like, when working with me, the numbers are gonna make sense. I will make sure that's not our problem. So what's another way to build that connection? Like you said lunch, and then you said Zoom.
So this is what I say to my people. I say, look, I'm going to specifically target an area that you want deals in. And I'm going to run these deals by you just to make sure the numbers make sense before I lock it up. Majority of the time. So when your concern, sir, is that I'm going to bring you trash, the numbers don't make sense. I'm going to make, if you're going to be available. I'll call you when I have a motivated seller, and we'll reverse engineer. We'll work this thing together if that works for you. So that
Okay.
right there is like, okay, this dude's gonna go bird dog for me. He's gonna go find me and go to bat. Like, that's valuable. That's very valuable to someone. Like if you told me that, like, Nate, I'm just gonna call this area that you want to deal in and go to you if I have someone that's motivated and wants to close, I'd be like, okay, that's sick. All right, yeah, call me if you got somebody, right? So your question is, how do you build rapport? Well, the way you build rapport with anyone is you provide value to that person, right? Like, for example, Brent Daniels, like I told you, I just met him 2 weeks ago, right? Like, but doesn't know me, doesn't know if I'm a clown or not. But how did I show him that, he can come on my podcast? I went on his. How did I show him that? Like, how did he even let me come on and teach like some of the students? Because I tried to provide value, right? And the rapport and the value building was there because he's like, okay, this guy is giving to me, and I see his value. So if you call a buyer and you're just taking, they're gonna be like, forget this guy. But if you're like, look, I'm gonna go to bat for you. I just met you, but I want to find a deal because obviously I'm trying to, get established in this game. You're a baller. I want to be like you. Can we work together? That guy's like, okay,
Okay.
So you kind of get the gist.
Yeah, I'm actually glad that you said that for confirmation. Like you said, I just love clarification. That's exactly what I've been doing. And building that like relationship. And some of these buyers have like 10-minute to 30-minute conversations with me, and I don't even ask for that. I just ask, are you willing to work with a wholesaler if I bring you a good deal? And then they just keep on talking, and I just like get onto that.
Yeah, and that's another great way to build rapport is just to listen, right? Hear them out. So it sounds like you're doing the right thing. And by the way, guys, like if you need clarification or validation, I mean, that's why I'm here. I mean, you guys are in the club and you're taking advantage of it. That's why I'm here. So if you feel like you're doing something right, just ask me anyway, and I'll tell you my opinion. Right? I mean, Rappaport's a baller, but I'm saying, hey, I don't think his strategy is the right way to start. I think it's a waste of time.
No, you're right. It's overwhelming. Like pick 5 markets. You're not even close to any of the markets. He pushes like that virtual wholesaling. Like he says, you could do it nationwide. You could do it from anywhere you want. But I mean, if you're not familiar with that market, it's overwhelming.
I know there's just too many wholesalers that I know that went the virtual route and like myself and pulled back to specific markets. And the only ones that are doing it successfully have marketing budgets of like 30, 40, 50K in pay-per-click, because they're spending a ton of money on motivated sellers all over. So when the leads come in, they're at least getting motivated people. But if you're calling random people on FSBO, nah, bro, that ain't gonna work. So anyway, yeah, I'm glad you said. By the way, our homegirl, Michelle, called back. I think she butt dialed me because she immediately hung up. But let me try her again real quick. Michelle. Must have been a butt dial. Don't let me down, Michelle. She don't want none, boy. She doesn't want it. It was a butt dial for sure. So guys, I want to kind of show you a little bit of what I do. I'm talking to a seller right now. Let's pull the text message and maybe you guys can get some good whatever the wording is, like shadowing out of this. Let's see. So she just texted me. Let's see what we got. It's weird. It hasn't come through yet, so maybe I need to refresh this. You guys can still see my screen, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, cool. Where's my girl, man? Where's she at? Okay, hold on. It's not coming through. We got 801, 439. Let's see. It's frustrating. It's not here. It's on my phone, but that doesn't help you guys. Come on. Is there a refresh on this thing? Refresh. Son of a.
Shoot, I'm on Windows. I don't know how to help you.
You're good. You're good. All right, I'll just read the text that she said. So she said, "Sorry, I was trying to figure this out. This migraine is not helping. I don't want a down payment upfront situation, then still have to make the mortgage current. The scenario does not help me at all. Now the payoff I sent to the title company covers what is due and makes everything current, which is 181, give or take. I will go down to 213 from 220 or 225 you were working before. The buyer still pays closing. That's what I can do. Any update from this buyer? Hey, I would assume nothing is going to happen with this buyer. Yeah, yeah, so I'm going to call her real quick and just kind of tell her. So I'm talking to a seller who I told her I was wholesaling her house cuz she wanted way too much. And I thought she was motivated enough to take a legit offer eventually, but she's too high still. But let's call her. And don't be overwhelmed with what I'm telling you. Like, you'll get it. It just takes practice and just taking action. Like, you're never gonna get it all. I still don't get it all. I mean, it just takes time.
Hello.
Hey Anita, how are you?
I'm okay.
Well, do you have 5 minutes? I just wanted to give you an update.
Yeah, I've got 5 minutes.
Okay. Yeah, so I went back to the buyer and I said, "Hey, look, this is the best she can do, and she's just willing to let this thing go to the bank." And he was a little disappointed because he wanted the house, but he just can't afford. I went back and told him what you wanted, but he can't afford that. So, yeah, at this point, I just told the buyer, "Hey, you're just gonna have to, go on, and it's not gonna work out." And I'm assuming at this point you're just gonna let it go.
Yeah, unless he contacts me and has an offer or something. But yeah, I'm not gonna accept any of the offers that have been given me at this point right now, no.
Right. Okay. Well, if I hear anything, and by the way, with the cancellation, if I can definitely send that. I just haven't had the time. But let's see. Yeah, if I hear of anything, I'll definitely let you know. Yeah, and at this point, the buyer, I'm just gonna tell him, it's not gonna work, and I don't know what he's gonna do, But
Okay.
I guess it's at that point, we can't really do much at this point.
No.
Okay. Well, I thought
All
I'd
right.
call you and do the courtesy of doing that,
All right. Thank you, sir. Appreciate it.
Have a good one.
Uh-huh.
All right, bye.
Bye.
Okay, guys. So what I did in that scenario is with that seller, she originally wanted 250 for her house. She owes 181 on it. It's her son. It's her son's house, and it's going into pre-foreclosure. So it has solar panels on it. It's behind $12,000, and she originally wanted 250s. So I knew she was super motivated because she was going to lose the house. So I said, "Look, I can't pay you 250, but maybe I can find someone that can." All the offers that I've been able to find are like 175, 190, 200. I even have someone that said, "Hey, I'll take over the payments and I'll give her $3,000 to walk." Right?
Yeah, I walked that.
So she is saying, "I will not sell this unless I get to walk away with at least $33,000 pretty much." And no one's offering her anything remotely close to that. 3 is the best offer I've gotten. 3,000 to walk. So she's willing to let this house go to the bank. And I talked to her. Everybody heard it. There's nothing you can do. She's just gonna let the house go. So you guys,
it's under her son's names too, right? And then
say that again.
It's under her son's names too, right? And then he's in jail.
Yeah. So you guys want to know something crazy?
Yeah.
You want to hear the wildest thing? So I call my buyer and I'm like, "Hey, bro, she doesn't want to take your offer. She's willing to let it go to foreclosure." And he's like, "Yo, forget her. Let's go visit the guy in jail and tell him we'll give him $3,000 and so his house doesn't go to foreclosure." And I'm like, "Dang." Yeah. So Michelle Jordan says dead lead at this point. So Michelle, you might be right, you might be wrong. So my buyer's like, "Let's go to the jail and let's offer him $3,000 and we'll take over his payment. Forget her." And so my buyer, he emails the jail and he CCs me in on the email and he's like, "Hey, when can we talk to this inmate?" So we're setting
That's
up
funny.
we're setting up a video call to talk this dude in jail so we can just get signed with him and
Wow.
go around her because she's just gonna let it go. So we're just gonna go talk to him and be like, hey man, your mom's willing to let this mug go. Like you trying to get this at least 3K so you can maybe pay for some extra cigarettes in the jail, you know, pay do something. So that's yeah. It's what does it say? You may still be alive by going with the sun. So Michelle that's watching this live says you may be still alive by going with the sun in jail. So that's the only play. She is willing to let this house go. No one's willing to pay what she wants for it. The only option, guys, is go to the sun in jail, bump her, you know, and but again, we're taking over a house that has a 2.99% interest rate, getting it for 3, fixing it up, probably sell it on a wrap. This is all a little bit more advanced stuff. And I've never gone to jail, guys. I've never done this to get a house, but you know,
gotta do what I gotta do.
You gotta do what you gotta do. And you know, that might be some Rappaport-ish, Ken. You know, I'm sure Rappaport been to jail several times to lock up them deals because he's creative like that, you know? So anyway, that's the situation. I did everything I could with her. I was kind, friendly. Obviously, I'm gonna do that no matter what. But sometimes she has a power of attorney. If she doesn't want to play ball, well, all right, we're gonna play ball. We're gonna go to prison. We're gonna go see her son.
Yeah, that whole situation gave me a headache when I was watching the video.
Bro,
one, it was hard to comprehend because like I don't know too much about real estate to like understand. But no, I mean I understood everything, but just the whole situation of her like continuing to deny after you like explain just pisses me off.
It hurts your head, right? So this that's why you have to have the right mindset, everybody, is because there's gonna be ish like that where you're like, I'm gonna give you $3,000 and you're willing to take 0 and then get a giant foreclosure on your son's record and like you're gonna have a lot of problems. I'm willing to save you out of this. And she's like, nah, I'm good. So it's just crazy. It's crazy. So someone in the live. So at the end of these calls, I look at the lives and see if there's any questions and maybe help everybody. So have you ever had a property with a lien that is valued more than the property itself? Yeah. So if a house has a lien on it that's more that's worth more than the house itself, you're gonna have to start. You know, you're gonna have to call the people or have the person that has the house call the company that has a lien and maybe they can negotiate it, because at this point you're going to buy a house that's not worth, you know, what the liens on it. So you're going to be upside down. A lot of people can negotiate those. That's why it's kind of frustrating with this lady, because she's like, oh, I need more money to pay off my son's debts. And I'm like, well, 3 is better than nothing. She's like, that won't put a dent in it. And I was like, look, I can call these, I can call the people that have the debts, like the collector, what do they call them? Collection agency? The people that collect the money, debt collectors. Yeah. So I was like, I can call the debt collectors and try and negotiate the debts down. She's like, nah, I'm cool. I'm like, dude, what is going on? I'm trying to help you. So anyway, you can't let that be a time suck. The reason why I let that be a time suck is because I'm showing a lot of people how to go through the process, and what to do, what not to do. Right. Cool. All right, guys. Well, do you guys have any other questions before we wrap it up?
No.
Okay. How do let me ask you guys this. Do you feel like there's some good value today? Because I want to make sure you guys are getting, you know, your time's, you know, worth your time.
I sure did. I got some clarification. Now I'm gonna take that action because I was holding back on calling realtors because I was scared I was saying the wrong thing. So now I'm gonna take that action because I'm not scared of the phones. Even if I like stutter or like do anything, I get right back and I'm still in the call.
That's what it takes. How about you, Ken?
Yeah, no, I'm definitely feeling good. Probably a little more precise. You know, like I was feeling a little scattered. You know,
good. That's
which
the goal.
state do I want to call in? You know, which state?
I love it. Well, you guys know that because you're in the club, you get access to these every week. You obviously there's the calls that get that go live to the Facebook group that are the rest of the week that you can participate. If you just like type in, you're in the club. Are you both part of the Discord? I think you both are in there. Yeah. So just any questions you have, hit up on the Discord. I'll answer. You know, you guys can help each other out. You also, in the first email that we sent out 10,000 skip trace leads. These are cold calling leads where you can call, and 1,000 leads that are in my CRM that need to be followed up with. So you guys, that came in your first email, so you can check those out, filter through them, see what areas they're in, and if they're in your area, or even if you want some practice, those leads. Sorry, what?
Oh no, yeah, I was gonna say the same. I was gonna say the same thing. That can be good practice.
That's good practice. Those leads are better than for sale by owner leads, 100%, because they are at least 1,000 leads. Those are people that have raised their hand and said, yes, I want to sell at one point. So I would have you practice on those, Ken, if you were going to do the nationwide over FSBO.
Got it.
Got it. Okay. All right, guys. Well, don't hesitate to hit up the Discord group, the club, and I'll see you guys next week. And I'll, best of luck. Let me know if you need anything.
Definitely. Thank you so much, Nathan. I have a quick question before you go.
Of course.
It's not like a long question. Can you send back the email for the first? Because I put for that email, like the 1,000 leads, because I put the wrong email first, but I changed it now to the right email, and I can still receive emails now.
Oh, you got the right emails coming in now?
Yeah, because when you sent the email, that's my right email, but I put the numbers reversed on the original input when I signed up.
Yeah, that's totally cool, man. I can do that.
My bad.
No, I'm gonna actually put them in the club Discord channel, so everyone just get it really quick. I'll just
thank you so much.
All right, guys, peace out.
I appreciate you. Bye.
Bye. Good value. I'm just always late. I've got to start checking. Yeah, no worries. And hey, by the way, if you're not in the club, join it. Peace.